If you're selling a $47 course and that's all you're making per customer, you're leaving a ton of money on the table. In this video, I'm going to show you how to turn every single buyer into a $97, a $297, or even a higher ticket customer using a simple course upsell funnel. Now, I just sat down with the head of business development, Paulson, from GoHighLevel, and we broke down every single piece of this course funnel strategy, and I go over a case study where I personally generated over 40 grand from a very small YouTube channel with essentially a low ticket course. Inside today's class, you're going to see my messaging formula that smacks viewers in the face and commands them to buy now, what upsells to add, where, the pricing strategy, how to increase your average order value, and most importantly, how to build this thing. So if you want to scale your course without needing more traffic, go ahead and type in sales in the comments and let's get into it. And if you found any value at all, you can help me out by just smashing the like button.
Today, I have a very special guest, Miss Marissa Romero. If you don't know who she is, she has been crushing it in the digital marketing world as an entrepreneur. And today, we have the privilege to hear from her. She's going to be teaching us a amazing masterclass. I have got some notes here, Marissa, of who you are from our team that they put together. So I'm going to casually read this out real quick, and I want you to add some more notes to it. So Marissa Romero is the founder and CEO of Subscribers to Sales, where she helps coaches and experts grow revenue from organic traffic through strategic funnels, YouTube, and AI-powered tools. After generating over 10 million views and growing 200,000 plus subscribers, she has helped over 400 plus business owners collectively generate over 5 million in revenue and 50 million in organic views as well. She's a mother of two, wife, and passionate about helping businesses amplify their heart-centered missions to the world. In other words, she's a pretty hard worker. Well, Marissa, thanks for saying yes to us.
Yes. No, thank you, Paulson, for hosting today. I'm really excited for what we have for the audience today. So thanks for going through that bio.
I love it. So before we get started with our masterclass, Marissa, what's your story? Like, how did you get into the world of digital marketing? How did you find HighLevel? Give us a little bit of context and some color of your path to HighLevel, and we'll learn about kind of what you have planned with our presentation today.
Yeah. So in the very, very beginning, my entrepreneur journey started back in kind of 2017. That's when I left my career. I was a civil engineer for 7 years, and I left that career because I wanted to figure out, like, how could I travel and make the same money that I did as an engineer, but see the world. And so I became a digital nomad for a while. The very first business I had was an e-commerce store, which is very interesting.
Wow.
I didn't love that business model. So, like, I sold all my stores and then switched to YouTube. I started making content on YouTube and then kind of went affiliate marketing heavy first, and then started creating courses and then all other kinds of stuff. So that's kind of my story in a nutshell. So,
I
and then
love it. So,
HighLevel. I do have a
yeah.
slide about HighLevel and my story with
Well,
HighLevel.
well,
So,
let's get into the slides. I think
yeah,
that'll help a lot of people.
cool. So the topic today, we're going to be talking about how to architect a high profit course funnel on GoHighLevel, right? And how to turn a buyer that is potentially going to buy a $30, $40 product and upsell them with $97 to $297 upsells in a nutshell. So as Paulson mentioned, I'm Marissa. I'm a YouTube strategist at heart. I love everything content creation. And lately I've been really getting into how AI can help with the content creation side and, of course, the business side, and how HighLevel has a whole suite of AI tools that helps with that. So
We sure do. Not that
yeah,
everybody should use all of it, but we do.
exactly. And so my background, I'm very familiar with driving organic traffic to open up a suite of different ways to make money with YouTube. So I've created, for example, over 50 videos that have made minimum 10K in revenue through different avenues such as D's, affiliate marketing, high ticket sales, course launches, all that fun stuff. But today the focus is going to be on digital products and courses. So altogether, I've accumulated with the lower to mid ticket, I've accumulated over 600 grand in digital course sales. And just wanted to throw the disclaimer, the results may vary. Everyone is on their own journey. And
Yep.
so I hope that today you can remix and take the information I'm going to be sharing and apply it the way you want to your business.
In other words, it's hard. It's not for everybody. It's not for the weak-hearted. We don't want to imply that you're going to go make a bunch of money either just because you're watching this masterclass, right? But this is something you should learn from, because if you can figure out a couple of breakthroughs, couple of milestones that moves the needle on sales or marketing, or maybe even offer clarity, you can do really well with what we're teaching here today. Okay, so yes, definitely a lot of problems with high level when you look at it. Right? But what
Yeah.
do you,
Well, this is kind of tying into my story with HighLevel. Like before
yeah,
HighLevel, I mean, I
yeah,
was paying. I was actually on Kartra, and Kartra got so expensive, right? Like anytime
sure.
I went up 5K email subscribers, it was like, oh, you're on this level now. I'm like, how am I paying $600 a month for this? And then I had to integrate it with all these other tools. So I checked out my books one day. I'm like, how am I paying, you know, 1,200 one month? It's up to like 1,600 in subscriptions. It was just like, ugh, like this is not okay. So then I switched to WordPress, and that was a tech nightmare because I had all these plugins. And although WordPress having it all is very cheap, like the plugins are a complete nightmare. It was so embarrassing. So like somebody would buy a course and there would be one update that wouldn't work, and then the people couldn't get the course. I was just like, oh my gosh, it was like get putting out fires all the time. So when I found HighLevel, I was like, wow, like I'm migrating, we're moving in, we're like packing up everything, we're moving in. It was my savior. I was just like, this is amazing. And so what I want to a thing that I see in the kind of the high level industry is it's ever there's a lot of teachings about SaaS and agencies, which is incredible. But I just want to shed light today on the power of all the tools high level has for when you have a digital course product, okay? Because it's so powerful. There's no need for third party integrations to do upsells or to have a community or whatever. Like it's all here centralized in your high level account in one place. So this is the beauty. And there's AI funnel builder, which I'm gonna touch on just a tad later on. But yeah, that's my high
I
level
love
story.
it. I love it. Those of you that are watching, I would love to do like a temperature check right now. How many of you are interested in launching a course or providing a launch for someone who's launching a course? Maybe you work with course creators or experts or authors or speakers, and you're the tech person that's helping launch some of these. Or maybe you're the person that's launching for yourself. I would love to know in the comments. Give me a one in the chat if you have the passion or desire to launch a course, whether you do it now or later, but you know you want to create some sort of a digital self-guiding product that you want to make available for your customers. So, were you always a course creator, or how did you get into the course creation side of things?
Yes, well, I would say yes, kind of. I've always been a course creator because the first way I made a good amount of money online was through affiliate marketing. And then that was kind of the gateway to like, wait a minute, I don't love promoting other people's things because I have some issues with this or they would switch this. So I was like, I want to create my own thing. And that's what got me into creating my very first digital
Gotcha,
product back in 2020,
gotcha,
the
gotcha.
COVID year. Yeah. So
Makes sense.
yes. Um, let's see. So on today's agenda, we have kind of three big chunks of categories. So we're going to talk about messaging, and then upsell architecture and like what to price things, what to even upsell and offer, the strategy behind that. I'm going to talk about a case study of organic YouTube traffic to one of these course funnels and give an overview of the snapshot that I have for you guys today, which I'm so excited to show you the snapshot. Like it's not something my team built, it's something I built. Like line by line, and I'm really excited to give it to you
Oh
guys.
man,
So
that's exciting.
yeah.
Mhm.
Um, so just kind of to clarify, like low ticket course funnel is kind of like a mouthful, but what I mean by this, it's a micro problem solution priced product, right? So typically it ranges from 27 to $77 on the main front end offer. Sometimes of course up to 97. And I say it's a funnel system because you have the upsells and downsells to pair with it. So it's a way when you have the funnel behind it to really make convert a buyer from just being perhaps a $27 buyer to a $400 buyer. So the benefit to the buyer is that they see this thing, they're like, wait a minute, let me grab it because it solves something. It's action focused. They can get a very quick win within a short amount of time, and because of that, they typically want more from you and other products and offers that you have in your product suite. So that's the definition of what we're talking about today. And when I say like, and when I'm, the thing we'll be going over a lot today is the sales page of that front end offer. And like, if we want to talk about where it lives, like this sales page, you can of course promote it on your YouTube channel, all your social medias, of course, paid ads, right? And this also is a very nice complement to if you have a lead magnet when someone opts in. It could also be a pop-up, like one-time offer that is on the thank you page that converts really well when somebody comes into your funnel or CRM for free. So
Makes sense. And now, the way when you mean what you mean, what do you mean by the funnel system? It's not just a landing page, or is it a landing page, or is it like a customer journey pathway that you're describing?
So what I mean by system is that it's really a buyer journey. So typically there's no opt-in on the page. You're taking a viewer straight to checkout to buy this thing. Yeah.
Gotcha. Got it.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah. So I will stand at the top of every tallest mountain and say that every business should have these digital products, right? Because if you're running paid ads, it's self-liquidating for ads, and also can give you some good ROAS, right? And then, as I mentioned before, people are more likely to buy from you again, not only with the upsells, but also back end marketing, which we'll touch on a little bit later. And it opens the door for a piece of the business to have, for you as a business owner, to have more time freedom. Okay. Because what I love about these sales is I'm like, it's 100% profit, right? Excluding taxes. But because I've sold high ticket, I've sold it all. And high ticket's amazing because you get a huge chunk of change, but there's a heavy fulfillment, right? But with digital products, there's no fulfillment. It's just people are going through them, and it's just a beautiful thing to have in your business. And I call it like, a 90% passive income asset to your business, because of course you got to either promote it with organic or with paid ads, one of those. For high ticket, you high ticket coaches and agencies and consultants out there, it really does prime your buyers to buy high ticket. I mean, you can think of when somebody goes through this as like a mini sales call almost, right? Because if they think like, oh, $57 got me this, like what does investing more with you get me then? For service providers, local businesses, it eliminates the need for trading time for service, that trap. And then for the physical product based business, it eliminates the stress of chasing profit margins. Okay, because a $47 sale is all yours for the business. You don't have to pay a team
Yeah.
member to fulfill the work. It's all yours.
So I have this perception, Marissa, that people that make courses are typically like digital marketing oriented. It sounds like what you're saying is like a local business can create a course as well. Is that true?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, any business, I've kind of seen it all. I mean, just people from we're going to get into some really great examples, but it's great for those, agencies, those local businesses that have even like plumbing services, real estate agents, like all these businesses to have that thing where it solve a quick pain point where people can like enter into your world and pay you for it,
Yeah.
and be able to engage with your business more. So yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
I love that because I think with the pandemic and COVID, like this model is definitely proven, right? Because no one can walk into these stores and you had to have a online component to your business,
Hmm.
right? So I
Right.
definitely totally agree with you that, an online presence is needed when it comes to an education point.
Right. Exactly. Exactly. Um, so let's talk about messaging, and don't everyone roll your eyes at once, because we see messaging all over, right? And on social media and stuff, but it truly is like, this is like the the star of the whole show, because if this messaging that we're going to talk about on the headline of the sales page is off, it's everything is going to be off. But if it's on, then this is what's going to allow you to scale to $500 days, 1K days, 3K days, whatever, right? So it is really the pillar of your digital product business. It's what you build everything off of, is the messaging formula. Okay, so you get this right, everything flows. Get it wrong, everything has to be a whole lot harder, and you have to nurture more and all these things. Okay. So this one sentence really does become like, everything, your content, sales page, ads, kind of the pillar of stuff to follow in the flow. So, as I mentioned, like, if your messaging is vague, um the bank account won't grow, right? You'll spend hours trying to explain what to do. You will have to like nurture, which like no marketer loves doing that. Like, we don't, no one, the nurturing content is just so cringe nowadays, right? But strong
Yep.
messaging, right? When they see it once and they come across it, they're like, I need this now. They know exactly who you're talking to, like you're talking to them, the viewer. And so let's kind of dive into like what that means. So this messaging formula, we're going to break it down, but the way I describe it is like the blueprint system framework, which is yours, like your proprietary thing you teach, right? To get a micro result, so like the thing that you are solving with your product without outdated advice. And I'll give examples of what this means. So the blueprint system framework is like your proprietary thing. Like um if you're in the mental health niche, right? It's kind of like the, what's it called? The nervous system reset framework, right? Something like that. To be able to sleep throughout the night without waking up at 1 a.m., without having to meditate for an hour, without having to do an hour yoga class. So that type of thing. So let's kind of
Mm,
dive into the way these parts work. So, as I mentioned, the blueprint system framework, it shows that what you have to offer is structured and proven, right? They can plug it into what they're doing and get results, and it builds confidence. Like, somebody looks at that thing and they're like, oh, okay, like this, I could see this working for me. And so it also kind of shows that, you're differentiating yourself from every other person in the market trying to have this same angle. Okay. So the micro results, we want to stay away from vagueness. Okay. So like growing your business, improving your health, taking control of your finances. Like, no one wants to take control of their finances. Like, that kind of sits in the corner. Like, yeah, I'll take control of my finances, like, never. Okay. But, like, what kind of business? Like, is it a high ticket business? Is it a local business, a plumbing? But like, there's so many different types of businesses. So, specific to that thing is like, book 3 clients this week. Like, that's what it could look like to grow your business, right? Improve your health, sleep through the night. That's so nice. Because the brain really does need a picture to digest things fast. If the brain is spending too much time, trying to figure out, like, I don't know what it is you're trying to communicate, trying to reverse engineer and try to read on you, people will just go on to the next thing, swipe away. So this is quite like um the thing that's going to communicate, like, okay, got it. If I know a lot of you watching are probably like parents out there. I know I have a almost 4-year-old and an almost 1-year-old baby girl, and like, as parents in the beginning, it's like, what do we want our kids to do? We want to get them to sleep through the night. So like if I'm a baby sleep educator and expert, like I want to have like that framework, whatever it is, like sleep through the night framework, to be able to take away all your baby's night feedings, without making them, cry all night in the corner, and whatever outdated advice they've heard or tried before, something that has scared them, they've tried before, and it didn't quite work for them. Okay. So that's
Yeah.
kind of what gets the attention.
I love this because I think a lot of people assume that their customers know what their business is about or what it's like, right? So
Mhm.
when you write copy, especially with headlines or subheadlines, especially in these landing pages, a lot of people tend to be vague or generic, assuming that the audience already have been following them for so long, they've been studying them for so long. Everybody should be, my offer is the best, so everybody should know what's the best, right? Like these are assumptions a lot of entrepreneurs make. So I love that you're saying that you need to be very specific and have specific call outs of the outcome that you're providing for your audience.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And for the results statement, okay, as I mentioned, this piece is showing how you're different, right? So it's buyers compare always to past disappointment. Like, oh, okay, like why is this Instagram course going to work for me? Like I've invested before in these strategies, the DM strategy, the cold outreach didn't work. But when you talk about things like, or at least for like the business niche example, like accomplishing this thing, getting a client without posting 3 times a day, with the health, wellness, losing weight without cutting carbs.
I like that one.
Yeah, right. Yeah. The relationship one, um, the like how to like save your marriage. Was it the I had an example for it, maybe it's on the next slide, but oh yeah, okay, so real examples: the headline messaging and act. So business,
Yeah.
the 7 post funnel to book 3 clients this week without daily posting. Okay.
Mm, yeah.
Health, the 20-minute tone up to shrink your waistline in 14 days without calorie counting. Like, yes, like count me in, like come on,
Yeah.
I'm buying that juicy thing. Okay. Relationships, the conversion reset to stop tonight's argument without forced talks. Hello. Like I'm getting that. That's amazing. So um but yeah, so it's something that just it's gonna really smack somebody in the face when they read it and be like, oh. And um this is like really what'll, if people see this like on an IG ad, they're gonna be like, wait, let me save this URL because I'm gonna buy this tonight. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So and so the great thing with the AI funnel builder, I actually just posted a whole long, great tutorial on my YouTube about the funnel builder. But the power of the funnel builder is like you can just select within the tool, like these things right here. You see, it's kind of hard to see, but your niche and all this stuff. And then in the prompt, you can literally give it this headline. So you're like, hey, here's the headline, and give it your headline, and then be like, write the rest of the copy. So it knows that it already needs sections like testimonials, how it works, your bio, like FAQ, all these things. And it's just like mind blowing. But I wanted to highlight the funnel builder because like it business owners for years, and I speak from experience, like we get to wanting to build a sales page for a digital product and we're like, oh my god, it's blank, I don't know where to start. Well, like first you start with the headline that we just went over, right? But then with AI you get a cheat code to like have it build out the framework of the whole thing, like the color palette, everything, and then you can just manually edit what you need, after AI does the draft. So just wanted to shout out the AI funnel builder.
No, I would love that. And also, we'll link the YouTube link for your tutorial video as well in your channel. So I think people will find that resourceful.
Yeah.
So and you don't have to be an AI funnel expert or even a funnel expert to even use the builder. Right? From what I know, it's very simple to use.
Hmm. Yeah. No, I on my one of the methods I show on my video today is you can literally tell it like, hey, model after this website, and it'll replicate the exact same website. Like what? Like, you just literally give it the link,
Yeah.
and I'm like, "No way." I was, like, mind blown. So, anyway, so kinda, shifting gears now to the upsell, because and by the way, like, everything we're talking about today, like, every little section, like, I could probably teach on for, like, an hour, 2 hours. So, like, this is kinda like a crash course, because like, the sales page in by itself, there's a lot there, but and I mentioned the builder because that will, like, help you really get it down within hours, which would have taken weeks before. So, the mindset for upsells. I want to talk about this because a lot of people, a lot of business owners, I've seen friction, and they're scared to upsell because they think they'll be too salesy if they add upsells to
Mm,
the page.
yeah,
Right?
yeah.
um and in reality, and this comes from a book called Ready Fire Aim by Michael Masterson. He talks about the buying frenzy, and basically what this means is, like, when someone buys from you, they aren't always satisfied, which is contrary to what we might think, right? And so the number one thing they want to do is buy some more. And so don't uh all this to say is, like, don't let your mindset, perhaps limiting beliefs, get in the way, and thinking like, oh my gosh, I don't want to bug them, like, oh, they'll think XYZ about me if I, like, push more things
Yeah.
in their face. But no, people do want to buy, and they will buy every single thing, and downsells too.
Yeah, we all have this interesting relationship with sales, right? Well, often we all, I've heard someone say we all sell like we buy, right? So if you
Yeah.
go to stores and you always want a coupon, you're gonna want to give out a coupon when nobody wanted a coupon, right? But that's just your behavior of how you buy things, right? So, I think a lot of times these funnels and systems you have takes the pressure off of that individual sale you have to do every single time, right? You kind of automate a lot of the processes and systems, and you can just focus on offer clarity or marketing message clarity or systems clarity.
Right. No, absolutely. Absolutely. Um, and here's the thing. You don't want to make a mistake I made, but it was really, there was no way for me to know, because back in the day when I first launched my very first product, it was 47 bucks, and I that week I made it like 40 bucks for, like, launch promo. I made 150 sales that week in 5 days of promoting this new product, and I didn't have any order bumps. I didn't have any upsells, downsells, nothing. So the potential revenue, like, lost at minimum was at least like 13K. And it's crazy to me now that I think back, and I'm like, wow, okay. Like, I just didn't know what I didn't know. So hopefully, this inspires, one of you watching this today to just grab some things within the portal of a whole bunch of great assets you have, package it up as a tool to upsell for one of the digital products that you have. So, just wanted to, yeah, mention that back in the day, what
Yeah, I mean,
happened.
it's always good to launch even if you don't have everything perfect, right? But as you go through these things, you have to learn from mistakes. You have to learn
Mhm.
from, discovery you have in the system and processes. I think the best thing you can do is listen to the customers, right? You have to get
Mhm.
feedback from them and understand, like, did they want another product? Were they happy with what you provided them initially, or did they want something else, you know?
Right. Right, exactly, exactly. Um, and, so let's talk about, like, what even makes a good upsell. So, it in the sequence of things when people buy, the things that should come next with people buy is something that'll help them implement the main front end offer that they just bought from you. So, in our industry and niche, thinking like template swipe files, done for you things, workshops, master classes, and it shouldn't be too similar to the main thing, because if they they get upsold, like if I sell a a course on, I don't know, YouTube organic marketing, but then I sell my next upsell is like SEO on organic marketing. It's like, well, wait a minute, shouldn't that have been in the first thing I just bought? So that's kind of like losing
Oh,
trust. You know what I mean? Um, and so, but the other thing is, like, we don't want to make it extremely so different. Like, so if I just sold the YouTube SEO course, I don't want to sell like a Facebook ad course because that's just like a whole
Yeah.
180 in this
So you want it to
direction.
be complementary,
Mm-hmm.
but at the
Yes.
same time, it shouldn't be like something that should have been part of the initial offer.
Right. Right. So if in the sequence it's like okay, like what so many people nowadays, and this could be in any niche, right? AI prompts, like AI prompts in all of the industries. AI prompts is like an order bump or an upsell. Like that's like a great kind of complementary thing to help people along their journey achieve it faster. So um I just want to talk about the pricing curve because it's kind of there's no besides doing your own testing, there's no kind of way to know like what do I even price upsells and things. And this all depends on what your industry is. But I think this is kind of like the safe zone to test with different products that you want to offer. So for the main front end, I think the sweet spot is 27 to 47. But of course, if you're marketing to an audience that you know is has high end pockets or whatever, like I mean, it's it could be the front end could be 97 or 197, but I think like the no brainer price point is around the 20 to $50 mark. Okay. And so upsell one also, if going back to the book, The Ready, Fire, Aim, should be your highest price upsell. So this one is going to be anywhere from 197 to 297. And then this is where your first downsell comes into play. So the downsell is literally, don't overthink it. It's literally just however much off. Just give it like whatever the price is, just knock a chunk of change off of it. Like you don't have to create a whole new offer for the downsell. That made my whole life easier when I was like, oh, yeah, that's a great idea. Just take a little bit more off. So then if we weave around to upsell two, this one's going to be a little bit lower. So let's say around the $97 price point for upsell two. And I think this is kind of the last one where you can offer a downsell because the other price points are kind of low. So this downsell,
Gotcha.
you could be like, take 20 bucks off or whatever. So then if you want to include like an upsell 3, 4, and 5, then they could be like mini price points, but lower, kind of even lower than your main offer product. So 47 for upsell 3, 27 for upsell 4, and what do I have for upsell 5? Something, like 17 bucks or something like that. So this is kind of the curve of what your buyer could experience. And it's perfectly okay to have 5 upsells. And I've heard of business owners having more like all downsells and like all, maybe even a 6 upsell. So it's really just like what you believe. That's literally like it. So yeah, that's
Yeah.
kind of like
Well,
what.
also the market will respond to you, right? You may have a
Mhm.
drop off in upsell three every single time, and now you got to look at your offer there. Now you got to look at what is the limiting factor there, what is the resistance piece there, and then you may want to swap that upsell out with something else and test something else, all right? Like walk us
Mhm.
through how you qualify these milestones.
Yeah, so I just kind of literally look at oh, there's one more. Cash injection. Boom. um kind of the funnel flow. And I'll get into conversion rates. So that's kind of how I judge like what's going on here. So the funnel
Gotcha.
flow is the main offer, that checkout page, let's say it's $47. The order bump's going to be 17 bucks. The order bump, you don't want it to be like a super large amount. Like you don't want to have a typically like a 197 order bump. That's kind of way too much. So and then it'll be the upsell one, and then if you take 50 bucks off, that'll be the downsell. And so just you can kind of see the progression of how it goes. And so conversion rates, this is what's healthy. This is from my testing and also just talking to other colleagues. The sales page conversion rate should be around 7%. Like 7 to 10% is very common for organic. Now for paid ads, I'm not this super expert with paid ads. I haven't mastered that yet, but I think it could be a little bit lower. So I think for paid ads, if you're getting even like 4%, 3, 4%, that's really, really good. So I'm just using like organic in this case. The order bump conversion rate will be anywhere between 30 to 50%. So of those 7% who buy, 30 to 50% of those people are going to get the order bump. Now, the high ticket, the first upsell, the highest ticket upsell is going to convert between 2 to 5%, mid ticket, 2 to 4%, and then downsells around 6%. And then the low ticket upsells convert between the highest, of course, from 4 to 10%. So that's how you can judge what's going on, what could be swapped out, is like the number of how many visitors are getting to these pages and how many people are adding them to cart. Yeah.
Makes sense. Can you help me understand two things? One, are these micro courses or are these like, 6-week programs, or like what is the fulfillment look like when in what you're describing here, like with these ranges?
At least for my business, all of these are digital products. So for mine, they're all workshop style. They're all courses you can consume within an hour and a half. But there are
Got it.
also things like calculators, things like templates, a pack of, if you're a designer and you have custom, what are those things called on Adobe? Presets, things
Oh
like
yeah,
that are delivered right away.
wireframes.
And but these for like a local business, like this could look different. Like one of these upsells could be a coaching group. Like, hey, like you got the this and that. Like, well, the third thing, it's like, okay, well, join our coaching community. We, go live every week, and you can talk about that. So there's obviously fulfillment there, but it's that's really great if you can get somebody to upsell into your community. Like that's an amazing thing. And another thing is in a local business or an agency or some business like that, if they want to have maybe the front end offer is $97, maybe you can fulfill something for $97 so that they can have it's a no-brainer for them to do 5K work with you or something like that. Yeah.
Got it. And then my other question is like organically. What are you doing organically to get people into the funnel system? Like how do they find out about what you're offering?
hmm Well, just literally just promoting the sales page everywhere on, in YouTube's case, the YouTube description, first pin comment, shouting it out in your YouTube videos. So driving traffic directly to the sales page, or as I mentioned in the beginning of the presentation, you can have this sales page as a one-time offer behind your free lead magnet. So
Gotcha.
I love driving traffic to free lead magnets. People sometimes talk talk smack about the lead magnet, like, oh, freebie seekers. I like building my list like that. And it's a great way, having this on the thank you page is a great way to get people to buy as well. Yeah.
Got it.
Oh,
So
and
so
email. And of course, email. You can email promoting this as promos to your email list and stuff. Like it's a awesome thing to get conversions and
yeah.
sales.
So from a content creation standpoint, what is your how often do you post and how often do you create content? Like what if I'm starting out brand new watching this masterclass, like are you telling me I have to now be a content creator to kind of build the system, or is there like a caveat to the system that I should be aware of that I should kind of step into? Like what's the advice?
Yeah. So the advice is I am diehard organic. I believe that testing out your products and getting your first sale with a new product with organic is like the best thing you could do. But paid ads people are going to tell you the opposite, like, oh, put an ad behind that thing and get your first sale within 12 hours. But so I think, hold on, I have a case study. I am going to talk about this because
Okay,
oops,
sweet.
okay, What am I gonna say? Am I saying? Oh yeah. So the don't overstack bonuses. What were they saying with this? Oh yes, just kind of going back to the upsells, like the upsells, they are complementary to the main front end thing, but they don't have to have like a whole bonus suite, because I know in our industry we like to stack the bonuses and like to put all these bells and whistles, but really it should be very simple. Like just give them like what they need, like no more, no less, because if it's a super long thing that they have to read after they were convinced to already buy the first thing, the sales page should for the upsell should be quite a bit shorter than your main product offering. So I just wanted to kind of put that note in there. Like you don't have to stress about having a whole full sales page like you did with the first one. And
Gotcha.
I'll show examples of that when I show
Sure.
the example
Sure.
of the
Yeah.
snapshot I built,
Yeah.
which is the step. But I kind of wanted to, let me see. But yes, today, for those of you watching, congratulations. This is so amazing. Like you're getting this snapshot. So what I created for you was this whole system, meaning I created a sales page for you, a one-click upsell, a one-click downsell page, an upsell 2, and downsell 2. I created core workflow triggers. So I created 2 automations that is set up so to just plug in your course and deliver it once you go ahead and brand your own offerings into the main pages. And I created a pipeline for you as well. So I can kind of give a tour of this before we finish the class today, but I gave you this sales page here, checkout page, upsell and downsell pages, and then also the automations to really make it quite easy for you, so you have the high converting structure, right?
Well, isn't that awesome, everybody? I think we should all be excited for this. Thank you, Marissa, and I love the fact that you said your team didn't build it. I did it myself. The sweat, blood, and tears. I know I did it. So I
Yes.
love that you're standing on what you're providing. I appreciate
Thank
it.
you.
So I think this is gonna, really move the needle for a lot of people that are interested in launching online courses and things like that. So
Yes.
awesome. But you do have to have a HighLevel account to use a snapshot.
Yes.
So just be aware.
Yes. But of course, like seriously, like with this snapshot, it's built so you could get it up and running within a day or two, get it published, and be making your first sales like by this weekend. Like seriously. So if you're starting a HighLevel trial, like you could like already have paid for the subscription for the year with this snapshot. So it's that good. So for back end marketing, but you know what? I'm just gonna skip ahead because I wanted to talk about something, because you talked about organic traffic and like, what do I do if I'm kind of just getting started with this? So I took this 90-day sample size from a brand new YouTube channel. I started it from scratch. I didn't promote it with any existing audience because I wanted to see like how much money could I make from a brand new YouTube channel that didn't have a lot of traffic. I think it only had like less than 300 subscribers. So this is a 90-day sample size. And I just wanted to show like how much money I made with this. So with this funnel, it only had 2 upsells and a downsell, and this is supposed to say downsell 2. But anyways, so the total revenue I made was just under $4,000, right? So on the front end offer, I had 52 sales. So that was $1,500 approximately. And then the upsell, I made 873, and downsell. So you can see the numbers, but I kind of put the conversion rates here so you can see like what the conversion at each level look like. So 7% conversion on the sales page, right? And these numbers kind of match. So the upsell converted at 7.7%. And then these downsells here converted around 4%. And then this upsell too, which was actually at this point in time, I had my more expensive upsell at the last part. So this is converted at 4%, which is really good. But all that to say is, I mean, $4,000, it's a great chunk of change to not have to fulfill any service, right? But not only that, like if we look at the math to see what makes this exciting, the main offer was $47. The average upsell revenue was $27, and the total average order value per customer was $71. So I doubled my revenue just by having these upsells, and some bought all three things. And the coolest part for you high ticket providers, and if whether coaches or agencies, like 3 of these 52 people became 10K plus clients, because some of my higher ticket stuff is I have a 10K and a 20K offer. So
that
that's
changes
amazing.
the math. Yeah, that changes the math drastically.
Right. So these it's like whatever you're doing, like seriously incorporate this into what you're doing, because it's really life changing revenue. I mean, $4,000 on a super tiny YouTube channel, and then being able to upsell, that's amazing, right? And so like, and then like when you want to run ads to this, like, you're like, okay, great, like I can run ads to this, and it's gonna self liquidate and probably get some positive ROAS, because it's proven already. So, but when you mention like, what does it take, like if you're starting brand new on YouTube, for example, you want to definitely try to hit that 8 video a month frequency, and stick to that like as long as possible for a year, like really just focusing in on the output of the videos you're creating for your YouTube channel. So that's what I would say, because yes, the upfront work for a channel is hard, but these videos are going to serve you for years to come. Yeah.
Makes total sense.
Yeah.
So and that's with the brand new YouTube channel, you said.
Yes. So let me see. I kind of back end marketing. So this was to introduce kind of back end marketing. So once you have the customer, there's ways to market to them once they're in your ecosystem, in your world, right? Of course, I gave the example of high ticket, but one thing you can do is have people, for those of you that have book a call funnels within your courses, you can have the link to book a call with you, right? So it's like, for an example, it's like you bought the content pack, here's a bundle. Oops, that was the wrong thing. My bad, everybody.
That's okay.
But what I was
you mean
going to
by
say
that?
was, yeah. But the book call is a very powerful thing to have within your courses. So you can have that everywhere. So, and then also product bundles you can have within your course portal. So if people want to like upgrade to other courses once they're inside, they could do that. And then within your course, like remind them of other offerings you have. If they did not join your community the first time, keep marketing it to them, because just because they didn't buy the upsell doesn't mean they won't buy the upsell in the future. So you can sell within the course, cross sell other offers on the thank you page. When the thank you page is when they're finally done like buying everything on that thank you page. It could be like a call to action to book a call with you. That's a great place for that, or to join a membership or something like that. And then of course, email sequences to buyers. So, your buyer list is your hottest audience, and you can still offer the upsells to them within an email nurture sequence that sends to them, for 10 days or so, whatever, after they bought from you. So lots of really great ways. And not that I'm doing all these. Like there's things I'm doing, there's things I'm not. So don't think I'm like perfect in implementing all these at once. But this is just to kind of give everyone here ideas.
This seems to be the North Star you should aim for, essentially.
Yes. So, Paulson, if it's okay with you, I'd love to kind of give a tour of the snapshot, if that's cool.
Yeah, let's do it. How many of you want to see that? Give me a 1 in the chat if it's a good time for us to just kind of walk through the snapshot that Marissa kind of built out. and I think that's going to be exciting for a lot of people here.
Awesome, awesome. Oh yeah, and I did want to mention, like, if any of you are starting a high level trial today, like one of the bonuses I have is you get access to my Profit Lounge community where I actually coach within there. We have a ton of other snapshots and great things going on in there. So one of the perks of joining the high level trial is you get access to myself and all the great things we have in the Profit Lounge. So just
Awesome.
want to mention that. Okay, so this is the main sales page that you get. So when you get the snapshot, it's gonna, and when you implement it into your, or import it into your high level account, it's gonna look something like this. You'll go to sites, funnels, and then it's gonna have this whole thing. It's like 9 steps. And so the main offer product page, this is the front end sales page, and then it has the checkout, and then you can kind of see here everything else I included. So this is the main sales page of the thing that's around whatever $47. And so here I kind of give you the framework of copy and like what it should have on each section. So it kind of guides you
Oh,
through
sweet.
what you should put like in each section. And of course, like, you know, I have my own placeholder mockups and stuff, but with AI, I mean, it's really easy to create mockups of the processes and the things that you do within the course. So there's that. And then this is the upsell one page. So the anatomy of the upsell one, like I always love, or I always say, like, you have to have a progress bar, because that's telling them like, okay, wait, like you're not done yet. And you always want to acknowledge of the thing they just purchased, right? So for example, I love to say, like, to say thanks for purchasing the micro course, I have a one-time deal for you that I know you'll love. You know, here is the performance optimization blueprint. And it just kind of, this page gives, you know, it sells like what this thing is. So it's kind of similar. And then the downsell page is, like I mentioned earlier in the presentation, it's just like, hey, take $30 off. If you didn't want it for $197, well, here it is for $167. And it's the same exact sales page, just a little different top, how do they call it? Top of the
Top,
page, top
top.
fold,
Yeah,
whatever. But it's
above
the
the
same
fold.
exact sales page. Above the fold.
Yeah.
There you go. So there's that. And then I have this pipeline. So like once somebody becomes a buyer, you'll see them here. So if you want to have either you or someone on your team wants to outreach, like you can move them through here because maybe they're qualified for a higher offer. So I included this pipeline. And then also here, here's the automation that kind of delivers the thing. So this workflow I put together, basically it's already set up. So like there's a trigger. So when somebody orders the product, they get sent a welcome email, they get a tag applied. Of course, you need to put in your own offer here, which you'll build out within HighLevel. Really, really easy to do. And then they can get access. So that's kind of the everything
Amazing.
you get today
Yeah,
at a glance.
that's
So
awesome.
yeah.
I think this is going to help a lot of people, especially in the beginning stages that maybe they've never launched a product before online and used high level for it, and it just gives them like a good framework to kind of think through. And even if they don't use the exact same framework, this gives them an idea of what it should look like. Whether they make some changes to it or adjust. Either way, I think this is going to be phenomenal for people.
Yeah. Awesome. Yeah, I believe it will. And it's something I wish I had when I was trying to piece it together, because not a whole lot of people were talking about like upsells and like what to say and like what to put on things. So yeah. And then also like in the, if you guys are able to join the Profit Lounge, like I have a couple of videos like walking you through kind of more in detail, like the custom values and
Yeah.
some of the other things I put in there as
Yeah, I
well.
was going to ask you to mention, how can people find you? I know we talked about the Profit Lounge and how do they find your channels? Like, what are the tags or handles or whatever, like, whatever you have going on.
Yeah. So I mean, the main thing is my YouTube, Marissa Romero. You can find me there, on Instagram. Instagram's my new married name. It's Marissa Mena. So that's my new I'm changing my name this year. So yeah, Instagram, I'll reply to a DM, like totally chill about that. So yeah, those are the main ways. My
Cool.
website's marissaromero.com, but I pretty much live on YouTube. So
Got it. Well, Marissa, I
yeah.
appreciate you taking almost about an hour of your time and teaching us, the framework and the infrastructure of what you have built with a lot of the digital products and course launches that you've done for yourself and others. And it seems like there's great momentum in your community as well. So I'm encouraging everyone to at least check it out and say hello. Any final thoughts that you would share with people that are brand new and they're just starting a business the first time?
Yeah, what I would say is don't overwhelm yourself and don't try to like launch this entire funnel at once if you've never done it before. What I would do to like start out is just sell that one thing. Just get a couple sales for that $27 thing and just roll with that for a while. I mean, you don't have to add a ton of things at first. Just kind of let it happen organically, right? And then add the bump offer and then add your first one upsell and downsell. And that's going to give you the confidence to keep going, because if you stress yourself out and you add 5 upsells right away and you're like, you don't know, like if you don't have like a ton of traffic to test it out with, you're not going to know what
Yeah,
converts, what doesn't. So just kind of do it one piece at a time. Yeah.
I love that.
So if this gave you major clarity on how to scale your course revenue, the next step is implementation. As I mentioned in the class, you can test out GoHighLevel for 30 days using my affiliate link free trial. And when you do, the value you get is insane. All for testing it out for 30 days. You get my help, my coaching, access to my private community, more done for you funnels, and a network of people that can hold you accountable to your goals. I hope to see you on the next coaching call. And of course, if you're still here, thanks for sticking around. I encourage you to watch the video that's coming up next, which goes over the full tutorial on GoHighLevel and the 100K blueprint you need to generate your next 100K with the software. I'll see you there. Just click right here.